Please like and comment on the video below. That will allow me to produce better quality videos and more of them in the future. If you're interested in learning to trade successfully on sports, then why not visit the BetAngel Academy, where we have more detailed videos. So we're going to do a really simple trade here. It's nothing complicated. But what we're going to do is, there's an advantage to using automation or semi-automation. We're going to use global settings here to part automate your trade. And this is a step on the way to using something like a servant, because a servant can do all sorts of really clever things. And the advantage of using this sort of thing is that you can focus right on the trade itself. You don't get distracted by what your objective is when you're trading. When you're trading, you want to open a trade, close a trade, probably repeat that process, and then finally you want to hedge your position. So there are a number of ways of doing that on BetAngel. I'm going to show you the simplest way here so that you can do that. But also, I'm going to do something unusual in that I'm going to deliberately take a trade in play. You think, what? He's gone mad. Well, no, this is actually a way of closing your trade and not going in play. But to do that, I have to demonstrate actually letting it go in play. You will see more as we go through the video. So let's set up the trade to start with. The first thing we need to do is set up the global settings. So normally it's set to none. You would set it to offset bet. And what offsetting does is, if I lay at 5.3, it will back at 5.4. If I back at 7, BetAngel will lay at 6.8. And what it's doing is it's creating a one-tick trade. So whatever side you decide to click on in the first place, it will offset that and place that closing trade for you in a profitable position in the market. Couldn't be simpler. So offset bet we would set at the top of the screen. I've lost my mouse temporarily. There it is. Offset bet on the top of the global settings. Offset by one tick. We're just saying we're going to nip in and out for one tick profit. Fill or kill bets, well, I'm going to set to 600. So 600 seconds is 10 minutes. That's going to hold that position in the market for 10 minutes. You'll see why in a second. And offset batches, I'm going to do 5. So if I use a stake of £10, which you can see I've got set up on the ladders here, using an offset batch of 5 means that it splits £10 into 5 lots of 2. Now the advantage of that is it's saying, rather than wait for the whole £10 to get matched, just wait for £2 to get matched and then offset that. So it's a much more efficient way of waiting for all of it to get matched and then offsetting whatever that remainder is. So it just splits it up and makes it easier for you to do. And we've got odds display set to reverse. The reason that we've got it set to reverse is it means that we're backing at the current lay price, laying at the current back price. We are offering positions to the market. And that means even if the odds don't move anywhere, we will still profit. That's the big advantage when you reverse the odds display. So we've set up the global settings there. We've set a stake of £10. And the last thing you need to do to switch on the global settings is we have an icon here. And you can see that's got a red line through it at the moment. So that's saying don't use global settings. So if you want to use it, you have to click on it to get rid of that cross. And that means we are now free to use the global settings. Incidentally, we have a thing called a global settings editor. So if you really want to do some fancy stuff, you can create your own custom global settings and invoke them with a couple of clicks of your mouse. It's very beneficial. So let us have a look at what's going on within this market, and we'll make a judgment on what we want to do. It's a fairly competitive handicap. You can see the favourites on a slight drift here. The second isn't. Third is coming in, and maybe the fourth. So in fact the favourite's on a drift. You can tell straight away the favourite's on a bit of a drift. And if we want to exploit that, if I press enter on my keyboard, what will happen is that centres the ladder and we can see how all of the odds are interacting with each other in this particular market. So if I go in and place a lay bet on the favourite here, what we're doing is we're initiating, that's the word I was looking for, the first part of this particular position. And then BetAngel will do the rest for us. So in fact I'm going to ignore the favourite because it's gone all the way up to 4, and can you see it stopped there, and then it looks like there's a little bit of money that's pulling it back in again. I'm going to look at the second favourite here, and we'll put our position in the market here. So if I click at 5.5, I can take my hands away and BetAngel will put that position in the market. You can see at the bottom I've dragged up the bar at the bottom. You can see it's a pending full or kill bet. So what that means is BetAngel holds it in the market until the order is filled, and then when the order starts to get filled, it will offset it in 5 batches of 2. So you can see here it's been matched fully at 5.5. BetAngel's gone in and placed the closing trade at 5.6. And there you go, there's the trade gone through there. Now that that's happened, we focused on getting the initial trade right. BetAngel put the closing trade into the market, we can go again. So let's go again at 5.5. You can see it's just breached 4 here. So I'm going to do one over there. Let's go mad. Let's do 2 at the same time. This is one of the advantages of adopting this approach, is that you can actually go in and you don't have to worry about opening and closing positions. BetAngel can do that for you. So you can see we didn't get our position matched. I've lost my mouse again. We didn't get our position matched at 5.5, but we've left it there. So the market's gone up, it's come down, and it's touched 5.5 again. So we'll just leave that for the moment and see what happens. So it didn't match again. So let's put that one above it and close that position below. You can see the market's run up a little bit here. And it's heading towards 6s. Let's see what happens when it approaches 6s. So that order will still sit there and wait to get filled, unless if we decide to cancel it, or maybe if we thought that maybe the price was going to go up a little bit more, then maybe we could do that. I just saw an order come in on the favourite here at 4. So can you see what's happened at 4? Drifted all the way out to 4, refuses to go any higher. That's my reading of what's going on the favourite. But you can see, if we look at the second favourite, that was backed in quite a bit, but now the drift is going back in the other direction on there. So that order is somewhat adrift in this particular market at this moment in time. Now you can see it's gone up and touched 6, come back down, got matched, and then it's flipped the order back in the other direction. So can you see, by leaving the order in there, waiting for that position to get filled, when the market came down fairly rapidly, we didn't panic, we didn't like jump in and think, oh, what are we supposed to be doing? BetAngel just did all of that for us. You can still see that we've got this order sat here at 4 points too. What are we going to do with that? Hopefully you'll see as we go through here. So again, another little spike down here. If I put an order in at 5.5 at the bottom, can you see this is where the money's traded within this market? Look at what's going on the fourth favourite. Price has been backed in fairly significantly. So that's probably going to send the price out. Did you see what happened on the second? Boom, boom. Our order got matched and it was taken out almost immediately on the other side. This is one of the advantages. You focus on the trade and getting the trade right, and BetAngel will do the rest of the process for you. You can see the favourite's been receiving a bit of attention over here as well. Let's try again at 5.5. It's going to be interesting to see if we get matched on that again. There you go. It took out the money at 5.5. There's a tiny amount here. We'll see if it goes up and gets matched at 5.6. It has, so let's do it again. Let's see if we can tempt those people in to get matched at 5.5. And it's going to go all the way up to 6. Now, if we look at the chart again, we noticed it got up there before and it just wouldn't go any further, and then it went back down. So this little spike you see here is taking it back towards 6s. So this time it's broken it convincingly. So I think that with the favourite coming in a little bit and the fourth favourite coming in a little bit, that's pushing this out a little bit further. So I feel more comfortable putting a position in at 6 here, and we'll see if it gets taken or if it gets pulled down a little bit further from there.
This event will start in 60 seconds. Let's see if it gets matched.
No, I think it's on its way now. I think that it's broken that level and that it probably won't come back. So now can you see we're in to the last minute or so of this particular race. That's really moving now. Let's try and squeeze another order in on there. That's going to probably get matched at 7. I've left these orders in here just in case it pings down and comes back to a lower level. Keeping an eye on the money at 6.8.
This event starts in 30 seconds. In 30 seconds.
Need to see that money getting taken at 6.8 for it to reach 7. Let's see over here and see if this number starts to go up. It is. 4.5, please.
10 seconds.
See if we get 4.5. It has a little bit. So we're now into this busy spell just before the race is about to start. The horses are circling around. Things are beginning to happen there. And I'm going to cancel these orders because they're no longer required. But I'm going to leave the other orders open. Now the issue that you've got with that is if you let this go in play now, all of these orders would leave you with liability in play. So I'm going to use a little trick here, and that is that here you can see it says at in play cancel. If I click on take SP all, what will happen is we can leave these orders in the market for a little bit longer, and then as the race goes in play it will take these orders out at SP. So that means I can take my hands off at this moment in time, and maybe the market will just run up a little bit as we get closer to the off and get us matched on these positions. So you can see we're sat around at 6.8. Oh, there you go. So if we have a look at what's going on the favourite here, and the race is in play.
This event is now in
But
play.
can you see what's happened there? We had an open position on the favourite, but because we turned it into a take SP order, that automatically got matched for us. It got matched very, very quickly. All that we need to do now is just click on this hedge button here. So if I click on this hedge button, that will equalise the profit or loss that we have on this particular trade across all of the runners within the market. So okay, you know, we traded the second favourite correctly. I wasn't sure, because the second favourite was trading okay, I wasn't sure if we'd have the opportunity to take a position to SP. And that's why I did the trade on the favourite there, so that we would have something to take SP. Otherwise it would take me another 10 minutes to demonstrate this particular position. I'm glad I did now, because you saw the other one got matched. So in fact it was double bubble, because it showed you how you can get matched on a position within the market very late on, which is the idea of trading in this particular manner. But you also saw the other position get taken to SP. So the advantage of using take SP in this manner is it guarantees that you will exit your trade as the race gets underway. You cannot take the bet in play because it will exit at SP. Now, if you want to do this automatically, you can set up automation to do this, or the best thing to do is to use a servant and a safety servant. We actually have a safety servant on the forum that will do the take SP order in a manner in which I've done manually here to every market. So when you're actively trading, it guarantees that you get out at post time, that you would definitely not take that trade in play. But hopefully what I've been able to demonstrate to you on this video is a number of different things. The first one is if you automate some or part of your trading by using global settings, servants or automation, that allows you to focus individually on one particular aspect of the market, the opening of the trade, getting that right, analysing the market. You don't have to worry about closing positions and stuff like that, because it can do it semi-automatically for you. But also, you saw on the second favourite there, that little bit of flurry of activity just before the off. That's very common. People have open positions. People are desperately trying to get out of their positions. Very often that fills you. You can squeeze a little bit more money out of the market or extra trades if you hold your position very close to the off. And then you saw on the favourite, we didn't get that order filled. We sort of pretty much forgot about it, but it closed itself when the race actually went in play. And that meant that all that we had to do was just hedge that position across the entire market, all of our trades. That was the only action that we had to perform in trade, and we could do that relatively safely. So this works particularly well at low stakes, not so well at large stakes, because SP is formed from all of the backers and all of the layers in the market. And if you're using large stakes, you can distort that. The other thing that I would say that's important to point out on this particular race, it was a 6 furlong race. So SP is more distorted at shorter races, because if the horse doesn't start the race, refuses to race, or gets off to a good start, the SP will resolve slightly higher or lower than you would typically expect. So there is a little bit of risk that you would take in there. And therefore it tends to work quite well on much longer races. But anyhow, several different aspects included within that little video that we've done there. But the most important one here is that if you're afraid or don't want to go in play, there's a method there for you to ensure that your trade is exited when the market actually gets turned in play, and you don't have to even worry about closing a position. It closes that position for you. All that you need to do is just hedge what your overall result is within the final market. And it's a tactic that I use quite often, because it stops me from taking anything in play, but also it gives me longer in the market, and I can trade right up until the stalls open.